as a kid, I absolutely loved it because it was a different time, you know.
And as children, your mentality is a whole lot different than your mentality as an adult.
I absolutely loved the Milo and Otis movie as a kid. I watched that movie a million times. Tried to watch it with my children as an adult, and it is the most boring crap on earth.
It's like, how did we watch that?
Yeah.
All right, so why don't we look at some Ask Reddit here. Now, I am going to, a lot of times on Ask Reddit, I don't know if you all spend much time on there, a lot of times you'll get people asking one question, and then a little bit later somebody will ask the inverse of that question. So that being said, I'm going to combine these two. Where would and where wouldn't you want to be when the zombie apocalypse begins?
I would not want to be at the World Health Organization because there's a great chance that's ground zero.
I wouldn't want to be at work because that's probably where it's going to start.
Also that.
Yeah, somebody's going to be in the ICU, they're going to pass, and then they're going to come back, and those patient doors don't lock.
I would want to be at probably one of Keelan's family's houses because they all have a pretty good stockpile going on.
Yeah.
Well, that's one thing.
And weapons.
that I'm glad that we live in a rural area because don't want to be in the city.
Yeah.
Don't want to be in a major metropolitan area. You want to be out in the country somewhere where lots of space and places to.
See, a lot of people think like Walmart or something like that, like a big box retailer, be a good place to go. That's where there's going to be chaos and anarchy.
That's where, and there's a great chance, too, that at least in the beginning, there's going to be some infected there.
Yeah.
So,
I remember when we worked overnights at Walmart, we developed quite an extensive zombie survival plan.
Yes, how we would fortify Walmart in the middle of the night if the zombie apocalypse happened.
Because Walmart at night...
clears
out. Not a bad place to be because you can get defended. But we were discussing.
There's guns and ammo.
There's guns and ammo. There's scissor lifts to get up high.
You could snipe from up there with the rifles.
That's true. Well, Walmart is definitely. I mean, as far as it being ideal with supplies, absolutely.
Yeah,
but
if you can get a group of agreeable people and take the Walmart,
right. But you have to get past all the crazies first.
Yeah.
The question then becomes, how long do they remain agreeable?
Right. You've got to find people that you know that you could cohabitate with.
Yeah. Like, I think we'd be cool.
Yeah. There are certain members of my family I would include because of their gunmanship and, is that the right word? Gunmanship? Things like that. Like, they're very handy with weapons. But at the first sign that they're going to try to start a revolt, I'm going to be like, they're infected, and cut them down with a machete.
I have family members that are like Daryl status for me. That would definitely be there. And then I have family members that are Merle status that we're going to leave handcuffed on top of the roof.
Right. Yeah, I've got a couple of those.
So.
Keelan brought up an interesting point about not being in the city. And I hadn't really thought about it, but that's probably a really good idea. Because out here, there's so much open space. You could go and it's flat enough. You can see for quite a while.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I think anywhere too remote, though, then you start running into problems, especially with supplies.
Right. Yeah, finding supplies.
About some weird news.
Weird news.
Weird.
So,
news of the weird.
This one comes from Scotland. Guests at Scotland McDonald Loch Rannoch Hotel were terrorized by Robert Fergus, 72, and his wife Ruth, 69. This was back in February. It says
sassy little boogers.
When the Troon couple rampaged through the lobby with scissors and threatened to shoot other guests.
With scissors.
The incident apparently began when Mrs. Fergus pounded on a hotel doorroom at 1:45 a.m., leading the guest within to call the front desk, who Mrs. Fergus told her husband treated her with, quote, hostility.
So I'm going to shoot you with my scissors.
I love this. That's when Mr. Fergus, quote, reacted disproportionately.
Disproportionately.
By running naked into the lobby with scissors, cutting communication cables, and shouting that he would slit and kill onlookers.
Oh, boy.
Meanwhile, Mrs. Fergus told staff that she was going to get a gun and shoot you, according to the prosecutor. Staff and guests ran out of the hotel while Mr. and Mrs. Fergus returned to their room to pack and took off in their BMW. They were apprehended when they flagged down a police car to accuse the hotel staff of abusing them.
Oh, dear God.
Who else thinks that this news article was written Mad Lib style?
Right.
Their attorney blames, and you won't believe this, overconsumption of alcohol for their behavior.
No way.
You think? So it's not bath salts.
All in all, they were fined 4,100 pounds and ordered to pay 800 pounds to cover the cost of damages.
Wow. My favorite part is that he was running through the lobby naked.
See,
with scissors.
Running with scissors.
He was not only was he
naked.
running with scissors, he was running with scissors while naked.
See, I just want to say that he took a tactical advantage there. That's what he did. He thought, I'm going to take off all my clothes. I'll be difficult to grab. Not only because you got no clothes to get a hold of, but who wants to wrestle with a naked 72-year-old man?
Yep.
Especially one wielding scissors.
So I think the moral of this story is that old people can get away with just about anything they want.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
And,
Because they're old.
well, I guess they didn't really get away with it.
We didn't get away with it.
But I love that they flagged down police staff and told on themselves.
Yes.
Well, my question is how did they not end up in a mental institution after this?
It's because mental health
they're
services in the NHS are very much lacking.
Here's another story. This one is out of Wenzhou City, China, and I may or may not have pronounced it. Are y'all familiar with Buckyballs?
Yes.
No.
They're the
Buckyballs.
little metal balls that are magnetic.
Oh yeah,
that
yeah,
stick
yeah, yeah,
together
yeah.
and
Okay.
build-
Yeah, those are cool. Yeah.
An 11-year-old boy underwent surgery in August to remove 26 magnetic Buckyballs from his.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
His wiener.
What?
Wait, what?
He put them in his wiener, huh?
What?
Yep.
26?
No, wait. This how?
Okay, I'm just going to say I have seen admitting complaint on an ER page, penis caught in fidget spinner. For a 9-year-old boy. I'm just going to say that's probably violating some sort of HIPAA. But kids are curious about what toys can do, and they're also curious about their anatomy at that age.
But aren't the balls
Some of them are
big?
small.
Oh.
They make them of varying size.
He told his pediatrician that he put them in there because he was curious.
Well, I could see that.
They caused a blockage in the boy's urethra.
Yes,
You
as they
think?
would.
Which caused bleeding and swelling.
Oh my gosh.
That's terrible. That's the worst.
Parents, have you had a serious discussion with your children and where not to put their toys? You should.
So there's a reason that I picked this story.
Oh my gosh.
Oh no.
He's got that devious
confession
look.
time?
Story time with Happy.
No.
Most of his childhood stories involve playing with bricks.
No. This is still
Just
from
ask
this
him about
article.
it later.
Okay.
Still from this article. Okay.
The boy's name was Pee-Pee.
Peppy. Pee-pee.
P-I-P-I.
Oh. Pee-pee.
Maybe it was Pie, but
Pie.
it's funnier to me that his name was Pee-Pee.
Oh, wow.
Pee-pee
writes
put
itself,
a bunch
doesn't
of little balls in his pee-pee.
We've lost the wife.
I think
The wife is going to need some medical intervention if she doesn't breathe soon. She's dying. It's great. She has started snorting, if you can't hear that.
We may need CPR.
I'm off the clock, yo.
Did you bring your paddles?
Nope. CPR doesn't require paddles.
Yeah, but we may need more serious.
You need some ACLS? Is that what you need?
That is the single most amazing thing that I've heard in my entire life. Admittedly, I don't get out much.
All right, let's bring it back down for a second. From Ask Reddit. What is a video game you wish you could forget and replay through?
Oh wow.
Gosh.
That's easy. For me, I got a list.
Okay. I have a list as well.
First thing that pops in my mind is Eco.
I knew that was going to be your
PlayStation
top
2.
one. I knew that was going to be your first one.
After not playing Minecraft for over a year, it's like forgetting everything and playing
It really
over
is.
because they have so much new crap.
Yeah.
And so I'm having to actually read Wikia articles, about it so that I can play again.
Yeah. They've added so much to it, and especially playing a modded game, which mods we've never even seen or heard of. Yeah.
I think my choice would be the entire Dragon Age series. The entire Dragon Age series. And maybe even Skyrim.
Two things that I would say. First one is probably the BioShock series.
Oh, yes.
Because those games have some of the best story.
They really do. They really do.
The other would be just the experience, reliving that first experience of Portal.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Because I distinctly remember it was 9:00 or so at night. I was like, you know what? I had the orange box, and so I was like, you know what? Let me try this game out. I played that game all the way through in one sitting. Like Laura fell asleep on the couch.
Watching because it was so interesting.
And when I was done, I woke her up and I said, that was amazing. Well,
we played Portal together. Whenever, he would play and I would help him solve the puzzles. That first game, there's so many times that you're like, okay, I have no idea what I'm supposed to do here, and you've got to kind of, like, after the first, 7 or 8 puzzles, you got to kind of figure things out. They're not leading you through it as much. And so we would kind of play through it together, where I'd sit there and be like, hey, try this. And when he played the second Portal game, the story was just so interesting to me that I just sat there and watched him play the whole game. So
I got the orange box for Portal because I remember I think y'all turned it on.
He had the orange box because of Half-Life. There was never anything like it.
No, there wasn't.
It was unique.
Yeah,
it's a great game for sure. It's one that definitely stands the test of time. I would love for them to come out with a new one. Yeah, in fact, I think there's a lot more of a story that could be told with GLaDOS. I think that
I want to know Shell's story.
I would love to. I would love for there to be a prequel, but I'm afraid for that to happen. I'm afraid that it would have to be taken out of the whole aspect of what Portal is with all the puzzles. I think that would have to be, because my vision of Shell is that she's from the Half-Life universe. Which, kind of Portal is based around the Half-Life universe.
Yeah. Black Mesa.
They're in the same.
Yeah. They're in the same universe.
So Shell would have to be, from that Half-Life universe. So Shell's story might be like a Half-Life 3 even, to be like that bridge between Half-Life and Portal. Yeah. So, anyway.
It's some of those lines. Look at you, soaring through the air like an eagle, piloting a blimp.
GLaDOS is one of the best written characters.
I love
she's
GLaDOS.
Amazing. GLaDOS is amazing.
And Wheatley. Don't forget.
And Wheatley.
Yeah. I like Wheatley. I think GLaDOS
Nobody's going to space, mate.
I think GLaDOS, though, the thing with GLaDOS was that she was so intelligent as, just as a character. And the way that she was so well written is that every line she utters is a brilliant one-liner.
Yeah. I loved, the reason why I want to see more of Shell is that there's sort of that parallel between GLaDOS and Shell, and that's sort of why she does some of the things she does, why she's sort of obsessed with her, and keeps bringing her back and keeps making her do these things. And so, yeah, I would like to see that explored more.
Well, you remember Gladys was... I can't remember the character's name.
She was the...
Caroline.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be interesting?
Caroline, take a note.
Here's my theory. Here's my theory. Fan theory right here. What if Shell was Caroline's daughter?
Yeah.
That could be why Gladys is so obsessed with her.
Ooh. Because it's bring your daughter to work.
To work day. Yeah. Did I just blow your mind?
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay.
So we'll take our residual checks for Portal 3